Hey guys, this is Odd1 Gaming. This is going to be another King Arthur Legends Rise video. In today's video, I want to talk about the newest hero that was added to the game, and that is Iweret. So, the reason why I want to go a little bit through this kit is because in my previous video, I just had a quick overview. However, this time, I kind of want to go and look through all of her passives, all of her skills, all of her relics, and then also try to give you guys some suggestions of what are going to be the best builds for her, where to use her, and all of that. So, let's start off, I guess, with looking at her kit and just check the passives first. So the first passive, when attacking, 100% independent chance to grant each Serpent's Will ally crit rate increase 2 for 2 turns. And then the other part, 100% chance to land, same thing for Serpent's Favor, effect accuracy increase 1 for 2 turns. So this one pretty much tells us that she's really good paired with other Serpent's Favor heroes. I'm gonna go through that after I finish all of her kit. I'm gonna go to the codex and see like what are other Serpent's Favor that could pair with her. Now, second passive, upon critical strike, 100% chance to gain Black Magic Wrath for 3 turns. This one increases the crit damage and hit accuracy, so that's pretty good. 100% chance to charge attack gauge by 50%. Again, this one sounds really powerful. It obviously has a big cooldown, but it has 8 available uses, so that's pretty good. And then the last passive, when attacking while under Black Magic Wrath, 100% chance to charge attack gauge by 100%, and also chance to gain Prepared Black Magic Annihilation for 1 turn. This one's gonna attack one enemy, then attacks all enemies, and also last hit has a chance for each mark, so inflicts additional damage to 1 time for each mark on the target damage, 35% attack times up to 4 times with mark. So this one means she can do a ton of damage if you have a mark out there, right? Now let's look at her base relic. The base relic is going to be Frost. First hit, attacks one enemy 2 times, deals 64% attack damage, 100% chance for last hit to inflict mark for 2 turns. Now, I want you to keep in mind over here that unless you have it skilled up, this one's only a, 60% chance to land mark, and it's only for 1 turn. So it's not the highest, especially because it's only the last hit. So I wouldn't say that she's the most reliable mark hero, right? And then second one, 100% chance to gain crit damage increase 2, crit rate increase 2, effect accuracy increase 2 for 2 turns, and then chance to inflict mark on 2 random enemies. And again, these ones are all for 1 turn unless you have her fully skilled up. And also do keep in mind that like because it's at random, you cannot quite control it, right? So for example, when you fight Iskalhide, if the boss is like 2 side adds, which usually are wings, claws, whatever, there's a chance you're not gonna land it on the boss. So I want to, again, emphasize to keep that in mind. Third skill, attacks one enemy 3 times, deals 297%, without the skill ups is like 190%. Damage, and upon crit deals additional damage if the target has mark. So this one can do insane damage, right? It's at base, it can do 350% damage. As long as you have mark, even if it's not fully skilled up, if it's fully skilled up, you see it's a ton, right? It's like over 400%, right? What's that? 447%. That's huge amounts of damage. But again, everything's predicated based on the mark. Now, if you look at the Flame Relic, pretty much same thing, attacks one enemy, then 1 random one, last hit has a chance to inflict mark, which again, this one's gonna be a random one, so it's not the more reliable. Second hit in this form, attacks one enemy 3 times. First hit, if it's a crit, then chance to gain crit damage increase 3 for 1 turn, then crit rate increase 2 for 1 turn, and also chance for last hit to inflict mark for 3 turns. Again, this one would inflict for 2 turns, so this one would be better, I guess, for landing mark and also hits, so this would be better in the flame form. And then this one, AoE damage, and then if it crits, additional deals damage 1 time if they have mark. So this one can be 200% damage AoE if they have mark, so that's pretty good. And then if you look at the Storm one, again, kind of same thing. Double hit, but with only 80% chance to inflict mark. Second hit, again, gain crit damage increase, crit rate increase, effect accuracy increase, and then inflict mark at random, so same as the first one. Then third hit, AoE damage, and then yeah, so pretty much she's all about doing damage and inflicting some mark plus buffing up. Now, I want to mention that the ideal way to use her would be something like making her do the second skill first, right, to boost the crit rate, crit damage, effect accuracy, then land some mark, and then go into the third skill. However, because of the way that we have the skill orders right now, it's hard to perfectly do that, right? You would have to play with the vigor where you would make her first skill priority to be the third skill, second skill priority to be the second second skill, but when she first gains a turn, there should only be 2 vigor available, so she does the second skill and then the third one. So, you know, it's a bit tricky to tune. Now, let's have a look how who are the other Serpent's Will favor heroes that you can pair with if you go into Codex. So if you straight up look at the legendaries, Morgan is the first one, which is amazing, right? Because what Morgan brings is on her passive, this one over here, if you have it fully skilled up, she can bring defense decrease, damage taken decrease, plus if you do the third skill, it's even better, right? Because it lands another damage taken increase. So this could be a perfect setup before she goes. Then another one, let's see what else do we have. Another one would be Sigrun. Sigrun would be ideal and would be the perfect one because Sigrun is arguably the best one to inflict mark in the game, right? She would brings a ton of mark. So I guess the ideal way to have a team around her would be to go Morgan goes first, then Sigrun, and then Iweret goes, and she would just blast things up, right? Now, what else? We have Clarison as well. That could be a decent one, but Clarison is more about dealing damage herself, so I'm not sure I would have her in the same team. Obviously, if you find a way to integrate her in the team, if you don't have Sigrun, for example, she might work. But again, keep in mind you need that. Then you need a mark, right? Now, if you look at rares, who do we have for Serpent's Will? Frederick, which is more of a healer. Sarah, which is more of a healer, so nobody too impressive from here for Serpent's Will to pair for that. Then uncommons. Trygve could be another interesting one, but his chances to land mark are not the best. I guess 90% can be good, but it's still, you have to scroll it fully in order to get a 90% chance, right? So again, he would not be the best. He has a chance on the basic attack and then maybe the passive as well when attacking. So he could be like, you know, a budget version because again, he's Serpent's Will as well. He could work. Then who else? Jack. I don't think Jack brings anything that would help like mark and stuff. No, he's more of a support one. And then let's see who else. Who else we have as Serpent's Will? Maul. Maul is more of a damage dealer, and that's about it. So again, the ideal way, the ideal team around Iweret would be Morgan, Sigrun, and then Iweret. And I strongly believe that if you have that setup of Morgan, Sigrun, and then Iweret, right? If she goes third, she could be better than Bedivere, right? I've not personally tested because I don't have her, but just looking at the numbers, I have a strong feeling she could be a lot better than Bedivere. Now, there's they have over here on their website the hero introduction where they go over all the skills, all the pairings, and it pretty much tells us, you know, what's the best sets and whatnot. So if you look at the recommended builds and stats for her, it tells us the critical set, the damage set, and then the focus set would be the best way to go with it. Now, it obviously depends what you want. If you want her to also land that mark, then you could consider the accuracy set, right? The effect accuracy, because you're gonna need that effect accuracy in order to land it. If you just straight up ignore the accuracy requirements, obviously you're gonna be able to push more damage for her. Now, suggestions, I think they show it over here. Let me see, does it show? No, there was a spot where they mentioned like, okay, what's the best spot for her? Let me just find that, and okay, there we go. So the event over here, the event hero Iweret shows us. So recommended allies, like I said, Sigrun's a good one. I guess Arthur could be a good one, but I wouldn't really go with Arthur, honestly, because again, he doesn't bring mark, he doesn't bring any of the other things that we want. And same thing with Frederick. I don't know why they recommend Frederick. Maybe they have a pairing, right, when they have chain attacks, where if she goes, somebody else joins. But I see nothing over here, which means it's not the, you know, they would not be the right one. See, like, this is what I mean. If they had this one, then I would see. Otherwise, I don't get it. Let me know in the comments down below if you realize why this one would be a good suggestion. And then obviously best against would be Escalhide, the best one. Then going against Ain could be a good one. And then also another one, which I don't honestly who this one is. Might be Forbidden Dungeon, Summer Fae Warrior. So Forbidden Dungeon. But pretty much she can be the top damage dealer in the game, like I suggested. Just she needs a few things to be able to set up, and preferably to be in the team with Serpent's favor. The easiest thing to do is obviously have her paired with somebody like a what's her name, Morgan. Then you can do it. But again, keep in mind you want to try and set up those skills so that she does the second skill first and then the third skill. But the only way to do that, like I mentioned at the beginning, is if you manage to get the skill priorities to be third one first, second one to be the second priority, but then when she gets her first turn, you only have one vigor, and then when she goes, she has the vigor to only do the second skill and then blast with the third one. It's a bit quirky, it's a bit complicated, but I'm quite sure there's gonna be ways of you guys finding a way to make her work. And also, if I'm gonna pull her, I'm gonna try and work around, and then I'm gonna do a more champion spotlight on Iweret to see what's best to use for her. But yeah, I guess we're gonna leave it at this for today, guys. I hope this video was helpful, and if this video was helpful, please consider liking it, subscribing to the channel to see when I upload next. Comment on the video, let me know, what do you think? Do you think, did I miss something? Did I not? Do you think that I did a good breakdown? But yeah, thank you for watching, and see you in the next one. Peace, love, take care, run. Bye, guys.
Fight with honor. Vanquish the wicked, and you may prove worthy of your legacy.